This is the chapter we're going to add some text, and I just noticed that I called this in the handout stripes instead of graphics, so I'm going to change that to stripes. And now I'm going to add a new layer, and we're going to set up our type. So we'll choose the text tool, and right here we'll make sure this is set on static text, and we have this set on Arial, and we want 10-point type right here. And we want to make this a deep blue right there, 000033, and we want this to be to the left, align to the left, and we're going to set this to align anti-alias for readability. So now that I have that done, let's call this text, and I'll choose the first frame, and I'll zoom in, hold on the space bar and use my hand tool. Zoom out once and then click, and we'll type in the copyright. So it's copyright 2012. You can put your name and Charlie Chaplin material in the public domain. Make sure everything's spelt correctly, and it seems to be. So now I can go ahead and position this, and once I get it where I want it to be positioned, I can use the arrow keys on my keyboard and tweak it. Okay, the second set of text we want to do, a slide over here, is to set our address and so on in the upper right hand corner. So to do that, we're going to change the size of the text to 12 point, and we'll let the letter spacing properties, I'll make sure that's set to 0. And then we'll click and start adding information. I want this to be aligned right. Come over here, click, and we'll type in Charlie. I don't have my type tool selected. There we go. Charlie Chaplin website, and then we'll put an email address, info@charliechaplinwebsite.com, and I'm not sure if there's a real one of those or not. And then we'll type in a phone number, 555-XXX XXXX, and now we'll mess around with the type. Use this to pull this out a little bit more, and what we want to do is set up, make our email live. So I'm going to copy this to my clipboard, and right down here you'll see in the properties menu a link. So I'm going to type in the HTML mail to, and then I'll just paste. And if we play the movie right now, you will see that that's the link, and we'll click it, it'll boot up your mail program. The problem with it is that people want or are used to seeing an underline, so I want to add an underline to that. Zoom in right here. You can see it in the working mode but not in the final mode, so I'm going to make sure that my line tool here, I have to set the pencil tool the same color, 000033, click, and then I'll just click and drag. And I can double click the line, we'll make it 2 points, use the arrow keys and nudge it, and now when I play it you can see that that's underlined. Maybe 2 points a little bit too thick, come back over here and make it 1 point. There we go, now we have our mailing link active, and that is the end of chapter 3.